going on, movie lovers, and welcome back to 5 on It. It is 2026, and we decided to bring y'all with our first episode of the year with a little bit of Stranger Things Season 5 review. Maybe give you a quick ranking of the seasons as a whole as well. But we're back, but we are not alone. We got a fellow movie lover here, the owner, creator of Onya'e Naturals, Jassy.
Hello, hello. Happy to be here.
Yes, ma'am.
Yep. Welcome.
Yeah. But we are going to get into some of some of the highlights and my pros of the season 5 and maybe like some cons as well. You want to start it off, Jassy, or Sir Fraser?
That's now that I realize which season we're talking about.
We thought we were talking about the wrong season.
So highlights from me. Oh man, this one scene. Well, can I talk about the movie? Mm-hmm. Right, the scene with Will and Vecna. What I've been wanting was just a little bit more dark action. You know what I mean? Besides dialogue. And that scene when he took control and spoke through him, it was like, Max, run. If
you can hear me.
If I was at home, I would have rewinded that like 3 times.
Well, they kept showing that part in the trailer when he's like, doing that shit. You're like,
it
so what the hell? Like, what's going on that has him doing all this shit?
Dude, it was epic. Like, I wanted, and to be honest, it felt like that scene went so fast. I was like, wait, again, or like, slow down, because it was just, can you say a paragraph? Like, but it was so good.
Doesn't he break Vecna's leg at that moment?
Yeah, he does.
And
so, that was a gnarly break.
You're like, oh shit, is he gonna really like do it?
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, he's only able to overtake him just for a bit.
I love when he didn't know. I love that it took time. I mean, it got there eventually. It kind of reminded me also parallel to It. When Pennywise was, stuck in that memory, he's all like, "This guy just."
But he gets slapped up.
Exactly, and then you see him kind of being like, "Do I wait? Is this Rick?" Like, so that scene with Vec, like, it just felt like that.
Yeah, I didn't think about making that comparison with Welcome to Derry. But I mean, obviously, Welcome to Derry is going on at the same time as this season, so they're definitely getting a lot of comparisons. Welcome to Derry is going to be on my honorable mentions list when we do our best TV shows of the year. But I mean,
pristine scene.
Yeah, I mean the series as a whole, I mean not the series, but the season as a whole for me was like pretty well done. I mean, of course, it's got like some of its downs. Like we can get to that later. But one quick down that I have to just point out though, because it's my first thing that I wrote on my list is the hair.
Oh my God!
I know.
Poor Lucas. What they done to my boy?
Do that the whole time. So, and I know he's like running from monsters. He doesn't have time to go to the barber shop.
His barber died.
His barber got sucked in the upside down.
Like why? Yeah.
Because his fade was clean in season 4.
It was.
He had just hit the game winner.
When you see the comparison, the side by side from seasons, you're just like
tragedy.
Man, it's like, bro, you could have. I don't know what was up with the budget, or if y'all actually thought that looked good or something, or if maybe you guys were going for something. But that is such a noticeable like, what the fuck is you guys doing? But speaking of highlights, though, is the introduction, though, of Vecna at the end of like the first drop, since Netflix did this in like 3 separate drops. The end of that first drop when Vecna finally comes in and he's lays waste to the people in the army and all them, and then he ends up winning kind of at first. He ends up with the kids and everything and taking them back into the upside down. Excuse me, but seeing his introduction into the season, especially like with all like the hints, and you're seeing Henry, just like him you just seeing like his character
in human form.
Yeah, in human form. But once
super
you see,
eerie too.
Yeah, I'm like his performance as Henry in that. Jamie, but like he does his thing. But seeing Vecna come out and like seeing how brolic and like a little bit swole,
that
motherfucker's been doing like
working out.
Dude, he's been in that abyss just doing his calisthenics, man. He's been getting swole, but like his introduction is a huge highlight of this season.
Yeah, I agree, and I think shortly after that moment, because that is absolutely a highlight for me. Because I mean, I think that one of the good things about that season is that we'd seen Henry, right, in the episodes, and I think they built up to. They didn't show us Vecna in any of the other episodes. They wait to show it for the reveal, and when we do, it's such an iconic moment where he just destroys the military. But another highlight for me is when Will taps in his power and as a sorcerer. I think that was a really great moment for me. I think that his powers surface in other points in the final season, but it was just, for me, a really gratifying moment to see somebody who really had been a focal point of the trauma.
Yeah.
Especially in the first 2 seasons. I mean, he was, and the way that they kind of tied all of that up in that moment of why Vecna was preying on these children, their vulnerability. Vecna, for me, really resonated because he does kind of give me a Freddy Krueger kind of vibe, especially in season 4.
Dude, that's why 4 has already been my favorite.
I agree with you. Season 4 is peak of this. Not to say that I don't like any. All the seasons to me are good. They just differ in degree. But that was a really great scene for me. Just that him kind of discovering his power.
Yeah.
And not being a victim. And because we've seen him in other seasons wrestling with trauma or his sexual identity, and then for him to kind of really have the breakthrough moment, it was just
Dude, and like
highlight.
To speak on like the Freddy Krueger vibes, like once we get to the finale and seeing like there's 2 scenes that gives me Nightmare on Elm Street vibes, are like when number 8, Callie, when she like goes into Max's mind, or when 11 does it. I'm not sure which one of the girls does it, but initially you're thinking that Vecna got a hold of Max, and you're like, oh no, you thought this chick was out, but he got her again. But the way they shoot the scene, and like she's going in, and you realize that she's in her dream, or she's like somebody's in her mind, and somebody's like doing something. But then like when she goes through the doors and you see it's 11 and Callie, you're like, oh, thank God. But you're getting just like these eerie, just horror type of vibes. And then especially the Nightmare on Elm Street stuff comes in with Hopper in his scene, especially when we I feel like we all got duped a little bit into thinking that he shot 11.
Oh, man.
And then it turns out like nothing happened. He just pulled her out way too soon.
Mine's playing tricks on you.
Yeah, dude. That was such a great moment in the finale though for me.
Yeah. I think this movie also introduced some fun characters, and dipshit Derek, who became delightful Derek. And I think one of the storylines that I think I really appreciated was. Sorry, that joint got me.
Yeah, got him.
Yeah. Oh man. The time we spend in the Upside Down, when they go to rescue the kids. I think that this show, it also something that very much is towards its influences is it's campy at times. And like I dig it because I know it's like it's tapping into its source material, so it's very much in line with that. But some of the acting, especially with Joyce, where I'm just like, okay.
Oh yeah.
Joyce, okay.
What is wrong with my boy?
She's
kind of irks me.
Well, I feel like, especially coming from like the season 1 where she's definitely at the forefront of the show, she ain't doing shit really in this season. Especially once we get to the finale, we're like, man, she is definitely like just. It's like, all right, Joyce, I guess you're just coming along for the ride.
Yeah, I wish they did a bit more because in the movie she was definitely in it, but I wish they kind of made her do more too. So it's like, oh yeah, there she is.
Yeah,
but it made me not really.
I mean,
getting annoyed with it.
She got her little moment to shine, when she finally takes a swing with that accent and everything. I was kind of hoping like that it was just going to be a one-hitter quitter.
Yeah, that shit was lasting. I was like, God.
You felt it.
Yeah.
I was like, ugh.
But then also like how they also shoot it where you're seeing all the characters like trauma of like how Vecna's played. Then I'm like, okay, I kind of fuck with this.
Because I was like, are we just going to sit here and watch her do that?
Yeah.
But it was like, wait, this is deep.
But I mean, I don't want to like jump into like negatives or anything like that. Just some like issues I had with the finale. But one thing like they touched on and they've mentioned that the play is canon with the series.
Yeah.
So like that Hopper and Joyce, they went to school with Henry, and so I'm like,
and Shawn.
Yeah. And so I feel like they definitely missed some opportunity as well to like have Joyce or Hopper like recognize him or say something along the lines, because like they're obviously alluring to something that like they should know each other. So like for her not to like even recognize him or like mention something with it, I don't know.
I know they weren't close to friends, but they all went to the same school. Like y'all don't recognize him.
Yeah, or like even
yourself?
like
that's a good point for sure.
Did his name like they've mentioned him? They called him Henry. So wouldn't like something like they mentioned like hold up, Henry Creel? Like, are you talking about that nerd?
And his story is pretty dark.
Very dark.
Exactly. Especially like if she would have been like after she says her final moment of like you've messed with the wrong family.
Yeah.
If she could have been like you messed with the wrong family, Henry. Then that could have been just been like, all right, she does know like this is who he is. But that's just a moment that I feel like they dropped the ball on. But a quick, not necessarily highlight, but just was when the Demogorgon comes in to try to take Holly, just seeing the effects and everything in that scene, and just like the panic of like just running through the house and everything.
And when she attacks the dad and the mom, like the visuals of that, the makeup was, oh my God, man.
They still, I wish they could have probably maybe killed off maybe some of those parents, at least to, like I said, to lend to like the stakes of the show and just like how, not necessarily the violence, but just that. This is the last season that like anybody can go at any moment. It's like you don't need to have a Game of Thrones, Sopranos where bodies are just dropping left and right. But I feel like they needed to like maybe kill off a couple more characters, especially once we get to the finale and you're fighting like this Godzilla. Especially Robin mentions that like how are we gonna kill this fucking thing? Yeah. There maybe should have been at least one person that bites the dust. I don't know who, but I feel like they should have left with somebody biting the dust. Especially, I mean, 11 she goes. But I was kind of expecting that, to be honest.
Well, I actually love the ending because it gave us an Inception-like ending where it's ambiguous.
Yeah.
She did.
But I mean, but I think the fact that they don't explicitly tell us, or if they did, I missed that. But I didn't see them. I didn't get that it was explicit that, oh no, this is just bullshit. I mean, I think all of them. I think that moment is really special too because we meet these kids when they're young playing Game of Thrones, and the series ends with them older.
Dungeons and Dragons.
Dungeons and Dragons, yeah.
Game of Thrones.
My bad. When and it ends with them finishing that, and I thought that was kind of in some ways a little bit of a beautiful tribute to Eddie in Hellfire, but also even when Dustin was on stage and he gave the principal a finger, that was also paying homage to Eddie because he talked about doing that before he was killed. So I thought that there was. I feel like this movie in a lot of ways stayed true to who it was, and I think just seeing these characters kind of have, just again like seeing them over the years and over the seasons, and it just, it was a really fun journey.
Yeah, how it ends, like it just.
And then the new generation, as well.
Yeah, how you see like the younger kids come down, it all goes full circle and everything.
It was nostalgic for us too.
Yeah,
millennials watching that. I was like, oh man.
Yeah, like, you feel like in the field because of like growing up and stuff like that.
We're never gonna get that back, like the way they played and they were done, and it's like.
Even how like they do Nancy and like Steve's like those four and Jonathan and all them on the roof. You're kind of thinking too like when you grow like y'all ain't gonna meet up all the time. Y'all gonna make these promises.
Like okay, but as you get older, it's like now you got schedules. You're busy in this. It's like I wish. It was like that. It is nice that way. Like
exactly.
You feel it. The love is there
for sure.
And the reminiscing and the crying, that was like so like that's us.
I believe.
Yeah.
The trauma bonding is the theme of this show, I swear.
I mean,
like oh my God.
Yeah.
But I mean, I was happy too to see Lucas and Max get their happy ending because they were like season 4, they were at odds and it was kind of trying to understand like, wait, how did this like? And then of course we learned Maxine's trauma and her guilt and why she's eventually targeted. But yeah, man. Oh yeah. It was kind of seeing that storylines.
Yeah. What I was going to mention too. I mean, the ending is like pretty solid for me. Though, like the main like I kind of negative I suppose about the finale is just the fight scene with Vecna and the Mind Flayer. Yeah. I mean, like you're building up to this finale type deal, this like end of the world type epic thing. And especially like, man, you still like rewatching it, you still get like some goosebumps moments, like especially like when 11's there and you're seeing the Mind Flayer and her facing off. So you're like, all right, here we go. Yeah. But then literally you can just like put a clock by it. It's like it's no longer than around 5 minutes. And it's like, man, like give me like I don't need some like half an hour, but maybe make it be like at least some like nice little 10 to 15 like minute, maybe in that solid 15-minute range, where especially like as soon as they start attacking the Mind Flayer, the Mind Flayer sends some Demogorgons.
Yeah, up the stakes.
Like you need to
kill one of the characters.
Yeah,
that would have been. Oof.
Or it's like I feel like they needed to put 11 in just like some sort of peril, or like make her feel like it's like at there any moment where you're feeling like Vecna got her. Like, what's she gonna do now? Like, she kind of just hossed him, especially like when she rips him down. I was just like, And then he's like, he gives that line of just, so you really want to die? Yeah. Especially because like now it's like a double entendre because she's come there to die, but also he's seeing inside her mind that like she wants to die after he kills her. Like, so it's like, you've built up this moment. It's like, let's fucking go. But like, you just left me wanting more. Yeah,
my negative is that I wanted 11 to do more. Like I would, even the few episode drops, I'm sitting on the couch and I'm like, why is she just standing there? Like, you know, at the beginning of Stranger Things, she would do her little arm thing, and the truck will go. She's not. I'm like, girl, you got powers. Like, Hopper, I get he was protective, but it got to the point I was like, dude, you're like softening her to the point of weakness. I just wanted her to not like win before the movie, but do something. And she was just so weak and it kind of irks me.
Want some more like raids or something like that.
Not enough raids.
I agree. I think for me, one of my biggest issues was this season felt overwritten at times. So a couple examples of scenes that I think were overwritten is at the very end, right, where Steve Harrington, Nancy, they're all on the rooftop. That scene didn't need to be that long. I think it's important. They could have kept the sentiment of that scene by cutting it though. I thought another scene where I thought was necessary, or I was okay with the scene, but Will's coming out. Like to me, that scene could have been cut. That didn't need to be that long.
So long.
I totally respect. Like I love that they gave him that moment. But
especially when he starts listing off the things that they could. It's like, bro, rule of 3. Leave it to 3.
Some of the stuff he listed,
overwritten.
Some of the stuff he listed, I know it's a fan theory, but a lot of that stuff they didn't do. Like he was afraid of the forest, and I was like, did Vecna talk through him? Because they weren't into that stuff. They didn't have milkshakes. We don't. It was too long, but it was also like, what is happening? Like, shortness.
They could have made that a little bit, just a little quicker. Even just like people I mentioned, or people kind of talked about, like, why is Murray here? He doesn't even need to be here.
I do like Murray though.
Yeah, but I mean that's mentioned too, like with some like necessary like plot holes into like the series, not the series, but the season. One like. I'm not necessarily saying it's a plot hole. It's more of like they just kind of just left this character just like, where did they go? It was Linda Hamilton's character. Especially like, I mean, you got T2, you got this chick coming in, Sarah Connor coming through to play a role. And then like at the end, it's like, okay, well, 11's gone, so you guys just pack it up. And she doesn't get no sort of like monologue. And they could have just held her being on trial for like, for her crimes or something like that. They could have just left her character in such a different way of just like, all right, well, I guess she just bounced. It just, it just felt a little just weird how it ended.
Character.
Yeah. No, I agree. That was definitely a scene where I thought that was a character they could have done more with. I did like the plot line though of bringing back 8 and how all of them were created by blood transfusion from Henry's blood. I thought that was a really that was a cool storyline. I think another storyline that worked for me, but I wanted more detail was the intrigue of like what the cave represented for Henry. I thought like. And then, of course, when they first introduced that scene, we don't see what's in the briefcase. So that also added to, I was like, okay, why? Like, what the hell is in here? It's kind of giving me like a Pulp Fiction moment. I was like, are they going to show us what's in this? And when they did, it was like very interesting, but I just was left with more questions. Like, well, how did this get here?
Exactly.
Did they get here from an asteroid? Like, it's okay, I can work with that. Because, I mean, clearly that guy had a badge on. I'm thinking he's government. He's clearly fearful about letting this out of his possession. He's on the run with it.
And they're doing a spin-off to, like, I guess, do more with that rock. But I'm like, okay, you're gonna.
I've never seen that.
But it's like even like with the rock aside, it's like what's going on in this cave? Did he just like follow him down here? Like why is
this kid chasing you?
Yeah, why is Henry even like down there? Because even he's like they sent you, and all that type of stuff. So it's
how did that man get down there? You mean?
I mean both of them.
Well, because Henry, I thought Henry mentioned that he was addressing his Boy Scout, and he said, "I heard you." It's like, I heard you, and that's why.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, where do they come from? Like, to even get to that situation, that they could have had maybe even an episode in the season, like an episode, not saying episode 9, but like fit it in the narratively of just an episode of like just that backstory of kind of like the events leading up to him like getting into that cave and then killing him with the rock and everything.
Oh, it was.
And like, why is it so emotional for him? Like, obviously, I guess that's where the mind flares, I'm guessing, takes control of him.
Yeah, and he didn't want him to remember that.
Yeah.
That was something that Will found out and revealed to him.
Well, it's funny you say that because that scene when Will's like, come on, you don't want to do this, blah, blah, blah. He's making you. He's like, no, I want to. And I was like, oh.
I was like, thank God.
I love that he stayed evil. I was like, we don't need him to be, like, he was content. But it's funny because if he wanted to do it, why would he block that memory? I'm like, dude, you wanted to be evil. Face this. Maybe he doesn't want to face that he wanted to be, but I find that kind of interesting. He just was so afraid. And I'm like, but you were pretty ballsy there, child.
Yeah. He acted his ass off in this season.
Oh my god!
Especially as Henry when he was like fighting trying to get through the cave.
Yeah,
man.
Maybe that's something that he just had to overtake. Like once like he's just kind of faced with that trauma. Like he just got to like overcome it now. Now he's like really accepting like who he is. Maybe he's had some uncertainty along the way.
As a kid,
Vecna pondering in the cave of just
he was already, even though he was in his little Boy Scout, he was already kind of a problem child because remember the story of the family. So
him killing his
he was
mother and his sister.
I was like, you already should have faced this because you should take the cave.
One thing that I definitely had an issue with, the plot armor that Nancy and
the hair too,
bro. I'm just like, yo, how the hell did they live in this? How did they survive this room?
It
went from liquid to solid like that, no explanation.
It has to do with like them becoming honest with one another. Or something.
Okay,
I know.
I'm out.
The slide stopped when they faced each other's.
No, they should have had a fucking Steve and them bust down the door at the nick of time. Because that shit did not do it
really
for me, bro.
To them,
they should have honestly just had like a moment. Like they didn't even really necessarily need to break up.
And they do the ring. I was like, oh, okay.
Say that again.
They threw the ring. I'm like, you could have just kept it in the tape.
Yeah.
That's when you recognize, like, oh, it's solid.
So I was like, okay, I get it. But
honestly, they could have literally like cut all of that out. Just had Steve and Dustin save them in the nick of time just to get in there, and then they could have just moved on. Like, and they could even like just insinuated on the rooftop that they're not together anymore. So like they honestly didn't even need any of that part.
They could have done it a little bit shorter.
It wasn't an okay scene of like just acting wise.
I like the goo, whatever, melting through the buildings.
It's emotional seeing them like going through like their turmoil and like their breakup and everything. But I'm like,
it took a long time to get there.
I think didn't need any of this. I think that's why. I think because it took so long to get there, I think that they needed to because they hadn't addressed why he hadn't the fact that he hadn't applied to college, that he was lying to her, and that he felt like he couldn't leave his mom and Will. Like all those things. Like I feel like they needed to tie up that thread, but it was definitely that the timing. I was like, they could have done it so much differently in that scene.
Maybe I just don't really care too much about their relationship. It's just like personally, I'm just like, all right, let's go. Let's go. I'm here for the
totally. I'm here for the action.
If we're comparing like the old four to the young four, I'm definitely
like the young.
Oh yeah,
I'm following them. I was like, all right, guys, we know those folks.
I mean, Steve Harrington though.
Steve is a great character.
He's like the fifth child. No, the sixth
character a lot. Him and Dusty. I love that they like made up. So I was kind of hurt when he just like, F it, I'm out of here. I was like,
dude, especially when they started their little squabble and everything.
That didn't make sense. That storyline.
A lot. I mean, I think he was jealous of the friendship
of Eddie,
and I get that, and I get it. But I was like, guys, stop fighting. This is like.
But then too, I was just like, I can just see kind of like both like sides why Dustin was like kind of frustrated, but also I'm just like, bro, you got to just realize what we're going through right now. Take it easy.
He just got his ass kicked.
Exactly. It's like you're just like you're asking for too much.
He was in that moment, and I understand because he had those last moments with God, why am I blanking his name right now? Not Eddie. Steve. Eddie. There we go. God. He allowed some ends with Eddie. I think he was very protective of the fact that he was innocent. He wasn't who the media and the community thought he was. And that created a lot of resentment, I think, from him to the friends who didn't stand up for him, knowing that, given that they knew Eddie. Yeah. So I think that led to some estrangement. I mean, he's rocking the Hellfire shirt. He's willingly flaunting this in front of people, this community that's still healing. Yep. So I understood like his anger, but what felt odd to me in that dynamic was it just seemed to come out of nowhere because Steve and him had always been close.
Yeah.
And for them to be fighting the way that they did, yeah, it just came out of the blue to me.
Yeah.
Maybe just this. They both had some stuff to say. You could tell it was just bubbling and bubbling in the van, even on the way to the other world. Like
I was thinking maybe it's like I gotta watch season 4 again because like it just feels like it was a kind of just random that they're like kind of beefing like that.
Yeah.
So I was like, did they even like maybe leave off that season on like a weird note that I'm just like forgetting about? But yeah, like them kind of like being at odds for a little while. That was definitely a little bit jarring.
Yeah.
Man, one kind of like two kind of funny, like not necessarily negatives, but it's just like, all right, whatever, is when they do their plan and Henry has like 11 and Callie is like doing her like powers and stuff. But then when they have them and like she gives them the word like, yeah, go and stab him. She just has to give out a hello, brother before it's like just stick it to her. Well, you got to just give in your little 2 lines.
Oh,
now he's able to escape. Yeah, now he's gone. Thanks,
that
bitch.
Scene was clean in the living room.
Yeah, that was like,
that was
like
good.
Showing
the
the
reveal
kids and everything.
Yeah, because those kids were irking me because they were ganging up, and Derek was like,
demons.
"You should listen to her." Derek knew though, because if I side with you, we're all like, it's better at least I'm incognito.
Yeah, exactly.
I know the truth, but I ain't out here blabbing about it.
Holly was a little soldier though. She went back for Derek.
She did.
When Derek was out and damn near having a fucking heart attack. It's like, bro, that's why you gotta stay slimmer, bro. You gotta stay off them Slim
And then
Jims.
seeing Henry stalking them, like chasing them, bro, possessed.
Dude, that's Michael Myers ass.
Yes.
Like stalking them.
With
like
the
that.
with the fit.
Yeah.
These are kids. Like
Yeah.
It made when Henry came into the picture, I was like, oh yeah, they're children. They're afraid. Like
Yeah.
it reminds you of like, hey, remember who the villain is?
Yeah.
Because you get so comfortable.
And another thing that I just wasn't quite feeling like, I didn't mind, like, I think there was like 2, maybe 3 Prince songs getting played.
Yeah.
I know for sure 2.
Purple Rain.
But I love some Prince. Prince is fine. But Purple Rain at that moment was just jarring to me on both watches. Like whether we saw it in the theater or when I saw it back at home. Like as soon as like they start kissing and then you just hear Purple Rain, I'm like, this feels weird. Because like I think they're playing.
On.
I can't remember which Prince song it is, but they're playing a Prince song when they're all driving and they're coming out the other side. I was like, all right, yeah, I'm like, this is pretty cool.
Yeah.
But then once they started playing Purple Rain and 11 and Mike are saying their goodbyes, I'm just like, this is. Nah, like this is some baby making music. These little kids are playing this bullshit.
That's
not bullshit, but like this don't fit you.
Because when you say that their moment, we already weren't feeling it because half the season they weren't talking much. So it's like now you're kissing. Like, now you're showing affection.
And then when they're doing their scream, they're all screaming for 11. And then once you get to Mike, Mike was screaming his heart out.
Girl. He was heartbroken.
He's a good crier. Like, hey,
yeah.
Like I felt that. Everyone else was like, no.
I know. He was more like,
He was hopping up, doing like jumps. Like he was. Man.
Speaking of that, another scene where I really walked away with that same impression was when at the very end where he's telling them the possibility that she's alive, and they're all going around saying "I believe," and they're all crying. I was like, "Damn!" I said, "Oh, y'all are in this. Y'all are really." I said,
"Yeah." I went to clap.
No fake cries here.
That was their last scene together. So
so that adds to that.
Story, real life, like you feel like the person next to you crying. Larissa and I were like, okay.
I mean,
I noticed that with Larissa.
Oh, my eyes are watering.
Well, I could see it being definitely super emotional because of just how like we've been following these characters, and now you're kind of telling them how like they're gonna be ending up with like just like their afters and everything.
Let's talk about the after.
But I mean, so do you guys subscribe to that 11 is still alive?
I do, and the reason why I do is because she doesn't have her marks. And I mentioned, someone said this on TikTok. I was like, what are they talking about? And I went back to the clip on Threads, and she's standing there, but I think she's like a hologram or whatever because she doesn't have her marks. I gotta like Google it, but I think I'm
curious to see a still of that now.
Not her. That's why Mike was like, yeah, she wasn't like he. I gotta pull it up.
Well,
I think she's alive somewhere.
I heard like something about like because like she didn't have like a nosebleed going on too as well.
That was also a factor.
I was like,
because those sounds or whatever,
but
those make her weak, and all of a sudden she's strong and can like handle 4.
But the thing is, to me, like if 8 has to be alive, like but as soon as she gets shot like pretty much in the same area where the bomb goes off. And when they show like the bomb exploding and they have the big old explosion of all of it, I'm like, wouldn't she be gone at that moment? Because like as soon as that explosion goes off, then you cut back to 11, and I'm like, maybe
have time to do that.
It's like, I mean, I'm guessing maybe you're just doing some sort of, I mean, unless
that
that
in their mind. Maybe they did it in their mind because there's no way she has time in the burning building to be like, this is what we're gonna do.
That too, like even when she gets shot up and like she's like dying, it's like she has to formulate this plan like while she's like dying and everything. But like how's that explosion went off? I'm like, she would have been gone, and then 11's hologram should have went. But you know,
maybe not hologram. You have a good point.
That she would have been gone. But like there are some things I've heard that kind of lends to her being alive, and then even mentioned like. With Mike talking to Hopper, talking about how like mentioning that 3 waterfalls is like super childish and like that's a fairy tale, and when they show 11 that she found a place that has 2 waterfalls, so they're like that maybe that was a strategic choice on purpose. So it's just like little details like that where it's like, I mean, it's very Sopranos Inception-esque where it's
open-ended.
It's like
open interpretation.
Yeah.
I guess.
I mean, maybe there's like a more of a finale towards like Inception or Sopranos being like Tony died or this top is spinning. This one's a little bit more open-ended, but if I had to say one, I think she's gone.
Yeah. The story did make me want to believe.
It definitely made me want to believe too, for sure.
I was like, something else about to happen. And
I said, after credits.
Yeah, after credits. I was like, let's wait till the light comes on.
I mean, I could definitely try to see them trying to milk it and trying to do like an 11 series.
I don't want them to do that. I don't want them to do that.
I wouldn't get him.
But I definitely loved. That was definitely a highlight for me. I got to talk about one more negative for me.
Okay.
Again, this goes back to the old writing. The scene where Max and Holly are waiting at the portals.
Oh, you mean when they
had a damn podcast conversation.
We could not let that one slide.
I said, this is nuts.
I screamed on the couch, run, about 10 times. Literally, I was like, shut up and go. And then did her dirty. Oh, get a boyfriend. I don't got a boyfriend. Well,
you'll be okay.
His favorite song. I don't have like.
That's a moment I would love to see in the theater with like just the crowd reaction to that. Just hear people like, go. Like, what are you doing? Like, I get it. Like, you're trying to like make sure this kid is like okay and everything. But y'all could have wrapped this up a little bit. Like,
let's talk about my portal.
When hers come out, she's like, all right, I gotta go. It's like, wow.
And then you walk.
Of course.
Especially after like you already ran to a portal once and then
it disappeared.
That music stopped.
And I was pissed when that happened the first time. I'm like, hey, you ran faster.
And now they're running, and then as soon as they see the portal, then it's like, all right, let's stop.
Let's talk.
Let's talk about it. Like, bitch.
She was moving like this shit was 7-Eleven. Like this portal was open.
Bro, like if I wouldn't even have thought, I was thinking, bitch, take Holly too. Like,
real. We're gonna try this.
I was actually like, grab her.
I know, grab her, just go through the portal. Like, what do y'all need separate portals? And then they talk about separate portals. I was like, okay, I guess that's y'all didn't have
that would have been interesting though.
You're right.
I was like, honestly, it's to me they could have just easily you shouldn't have to need her own portal. It could have just went through that, and then your whole conscience just gets awakened. Yeah. Like you didn't have to make it particularly.
That's interesting now because I'm wondering what would have happened if she would have gone through Max's portal.
Because she wouldn't be her.
Is she gonna be trapped in like Max's memory?
Have to find her
limbo. She's gonna be down where Inception is.
Well, I was gonna
say,
because think about it. I guess they could be. I mean, she could potentially be in Max's mind, right? Because they were in Henry's mind.
But they have to go find her portal to go in Max's portal to get Holly.
It'll be like Tony's. It'll be like Tony Stark's little. What does he call it? What's the voice that's talking to him?
Fuck.
Damn.
Yes, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, but Holly will be like that for Max. Like, bitch, I'm still in here. I went through the wrong portal. Now I'm stuck in your mind.
Can you give Lucas and I some privacy? Holly?
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Well, like before we want to do a score on season 5?
Season 5?
Well, I was gonna say before we do that, you want to do a quick little ranking of the Stranger Things seasons?
Yeah. You want to kick us off?
Can you just do it right off the rip?
You can.
Here,
I feel like you and I might have a. Yeah.
I'll go. Well, like quick ranking it'll probably in my mind be The best season for me is probably number 4. Then I might go season 3. Then probably 1, 5, 2. Because although, like, I mean, the finale, it did wrap up everything. The season was still strong. It's not like a huge miss or anything like that. It's just those other seasons are just such a banger for me. So I think I'd probably go as my best 4, 3, 1, 5, 2. Yeah, 4, 3, 1, 5, 2. What about you, Sir Fraser?
Damn. I'm really not sure on this one. Number 1 is 4. I feel confident in that. I love that season is really great. Damn. I haven't rewatched 3 in a minute. That's the one, the mall.
I mean, although like Billy gets sidelined in that because he's just like a vessel for.
Damn, dude, this is tough. This is really tough.
The mall scene at the end, that was like a great moment.
I think I'm gonna go 4, 3, 1. Oh man, I'm gonna go 2, 5.
We're just switching up 5 and 2 at the bottom.
I think the reason 5 is my least favorite, but if we're on our scale, I probably would give it a 3, 3.5. I think there's things that I really do love about this, but I think again it was overwritten, and I think the first drop is better than the second drop.
Yeah, like if I was giving it a score for season 5, yeah, 3.5. Had some definitely some highs. Had a couple lows though, like I said, like with the second drop as well, and just kind of leaving leaving some things just kind of a little too not necessarily open ended, but just like you guys just could have wrapped some of these other storylines up. Like I said, Linda Hamilton's character, you could have wrapped that up a little bit better. You could have nailed the landing as far as like the final battle, especially since it's such a series finale. But overall, 3.5. I think I would give season 5 though. Yeah,
because I mean, I don't just because this is my least favorite of the show, I don't want it to come across to anybody like that. I think this is as far as a finale, like a Game of Thrones style fail. No, I think that they stuck the landing for me in more than enough in enough ways. But anyway, I would say though it's probably towards the bottom for me. Yeah. What about you, Jassy?
I would say 1, 3. Because that mall, man, that season, I think really was, I forget, he's such a good villain. I mean, he was awful. I was like, God, I hate him, poor Max. Like,
well, that's why season 2 I feel like is a good season because you get introduced to Max
and
Billy.
Max.
Yeah.
You're right.
And Billy is such like more of like a character in that. Like I said, he's just like a vessel sort of, so he's not really him. He's just like this other version of him. But still, like those 2 seasons are still like really good because of those characters.
Yeah.
1, 3, 2, 4, 5.
1, 3, 2, 4, 5. Oh, so you're not as big on the fourth one, huh? Okay. 1, 3, 2, 4, 5.
Yeah. 1, 3, 2, 4, 5.
I feel like we both hold 3 in pretty high esteem.
Yeah.
All 3 of us, I mean.
And we hold this last season and lower.
Yeah.
It's just like the other seasons are just so good.
Yeah, it was the ending, but it wasn't. It'd be weird to put that. Like,
no, it's nowhere near the top of the list for me.
Like we needed this conclusion, but
One thing I do feel like though in this season though, like it did feel kind of like one big movie, just because of like especially how some episodes end and like the next one just literally picks up right where it like leaves off.
They end on great notes.
Yeah.
Every episode.
Yeah.
Like when they're on the roof and they're about to shoot was it the antimatter? What was it called? The exotic matter. That the visuals of that were dope.
Yeah.
But the way we cut as she's literally shooting, you're just like,
yeah. Dude, and just the visuals as like the upside down as a whole, and like especially like the explosion scene and everything.
Yeah, and I really love the reveal that this world, the upside down, was really just the tunnel between these worlds, these dimensions. I thought that was another really cool reveal. Yeah. I was like, oh shit, and when we had Will was building all those tunnels in season 2 through his dreams once the mind flayer got in at him, and it also kind of circled back to that whole thing, right? Because in season 2 was in season 3, right? The thought is, season 4. The thought is, oh, Vecna must be the Mind Flayer's general.
Yeah.
And we're kind of, by the end of that season, we're like, oh shit, no, it's Vecna. But at the tail end of that, at the end of season 5, we realized, no, he really was the general all along.
Yeah.
So I thought that they kind of connect some of those threads back to the earlier seasons.
And then, I mean, you get the great scene at the end with Jamie as like the human form of Vecna, when he's just like, "We are one." I was like, "Oh, he's doing some good acting in that part." But still, like, God, man, when 11 pops in there and she even has a little superhero pose and she rips Vecna off of like his little latches and shit, I was just like, "All right, here we go." But it's like it's so good, but I'm like, it's just kind of a letdown because I'm like, it's not gonna last long.
Yeah,
we're here for a good time, not a long time, I suppose, but we should have got a good time and a long time.
Dude, yeah, for real. Yeah. The visuals of those
I like the things in the kids.
Oh my god.
Dude. I've been in the theaters. It was a little phallic. I was like, why is this in
remind me of Aliens. That's what it reminded me of. Alien.
Yeah. I don't know.
You said, oh, yeah.
Well, especially like the audio, like the sound design of it, just like
I was like, this ain't right. I was like,
whoa.
these are kids.
These are children.
You can tell the theater. Everyone's like, like
what the? What are you pumping in the Vecna?
Everybody's
grossed out. Yeah.
Wait a damn minute.
But the black stuff that came out of their mouth reminded me of the movie
like
The
Harry
Green
Potter.
Mile when he was, when he was saved someone.
Yeah.
That stuff was like,
yeah.
I was just like, I thought of that. I was like, oh, call back. Maybe they watched The Green Mile.
I was thinking of Harry Potter when they get zapped and like their little souls kind of like when Sirius Black when he gets
the Dementors.
Yeah.
Like that part did.
Check out that review.
I thought that effect was cool. Just the mouth thing. I was like, couldn't you put that in their ears? Like,
In their ears.
Or just like, I don't know, like once you suck it on, like as soon as it goes on, there's just like, all right, and then they like eyes roll back. Dude, you have to add like a pumping like sensation of just
right.
like,
I was like, Hollywood. I got all weird. I got all like,
that shit was
conspiracy
disgusting.
theories. I was like, y'all don't need to do all that.
like what is Vecna doing in these children?
Yeah, I was just like, when
This
I
feels
first
perverted,
saw
sir.
it,
Like,
Oh,
what the
yeah.
fuck is happening?
I was like, y'all don't do that.
Yeah, really.
Somebody bring Joyce the axe.
Yeah. At first I was like, can we, instead of pulling it out, just cut it.
Oh God!
Just cut it, like, and then let the thing fall. But to just pull, like, where's a knife? You get what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Bro.
Still, I mean that whole cave and everything was.
I was
just,
like, I didn't like that part, but the cave was dope. Good scene.
Well, even when they're pulling them out of like the
even
cocoon,
that-
the way it tore, I'm just like,
God.
ugh.
These poor kids.
It's like yuck.
Thankfully, I didn't have any concessions because that line was so damn long.
Dude, that's why
halfway through.
I fucking just skipped that shit. I was
Oh,
like,
right,
I'm
all
not
right.
doing
We
this.
skipped it. We were like, there's no way this line's at the door.
That's
It
why-
ain't that
yeah.
long.
That's why I thought, because I was like, oh well,
I
this.
thought it was the movie line.
Well, like when
Me
I
too.
was leading up to it, like I'm just like, okay, is there going to be a QR code to scan? Like, no.
Right?
Oh,
That's
I have to give them this 15-digit number or something.
Yeah.
I'm like, no wonder this line is probably taking so long. Like, you have to take down like, all right, what's the number? 4512
Oh.
6489.
That makes sense because I don't know if this is true. I didn't fact check this, but I read that it's not counted as box office; it's counted as concessions.
Yeah, exactly. That's what
Because they're a streaming platform.
Yeah.
So that that lines up with what you were saying.
Well, that's what, because like when they said like they weren't selling a ticket, they're selling a concession voucher. But it's like, okay, well, like
We just
give
walked in,
somebody
that's
a fucking QR code at least so they can just scan it and go. They literally give you like a 10-digit code or number. So I'm like, each person has to give this
It's just
10-digit
ridiculous,
code,
yeah.
or like make the code shorter or something. Like
that line was long. At first I was like,
No,
"Damn,
shut
you
up and
good."
take my money. That's what I'm thinking.
I'm like, it just that
Popcorn.
line shit was just ridiculous. I'm not
Yeah.
sure how it was for everybody else
Very
in the theater,
confusing at
but
first. I walked in and got to a point where I was like, I don't like this. Are they scanning this? And that's when I was like, let's go.
So let me go hit Plaid Pantry. Something.
But you know, this is one of the few, I think, shows out there that's worthy of like a theater type of experience.
Yeah.
Like, every shows can't pull that off, but Stranger Things, all in all, like no matter how like people want to look at this season, the series as a whole has like stood up, and like it's definitely worth its salt, and like it definitely earned its theater experience for the finale.
I mean, I remember, I think you mentioned it to me that they were planning on showing the finale in the theater, and I was peeping too, because I was peeping online to try to find out when the tickets were going to be available. And as soon as I found out they were going to happen, the night before, I was like, all right, yo, Cisco, you down? Jassy, you down? Yep. And I copped them tickets immediately because them shit sold out fast.
Those tickets sold out pretty quick.
I was looking forward to it too for the New Year's.
Me too. That was a really fun, especially as we're going out New Year's Eve.
Yeah,
no doubt. Well, that wraps up our episode for this week. Is there anything? We usually talk about what's on our radar.
I have some stuff.
Anything on your radars? What you got?
Quick, some movies on my radar. The Odyssey.
Project.
You just seen the Odyssey trailer. I know people were upset about the costume. I don't care. I just know it's gonna be good.
People act like it's based on a true story.
I'm like, guys, just enjoy the movie.
It's like it's fantasy.
And the costume is pristine. But the Odyssey, Project Hail Mary, the Disclosure one with Steven Spielberg.
Oh yeah.
I know, the Disclosure something. But and of course, Devil Wears Prada 2. It's a good night callback. It's a good one. So far as those.
That's what's up.
Obviously, I'll just mention the big one. Doomsday.
Oh yeah.
No, I should say Doomsday because I am a huge fan of Doom 1 and Part 2.
Yes.
But like the material that's based on is very kind of weird. So descending, it's very out there, turning into a worm and all this type of weird random shit. But to see Denis Villeneuve and what type of liberties he takes as far as how he adopts the material definitely has me very interested to watch that. But Doomsday as well, except like you mentioned, Project Hail Mary, a movie that's out right now is Primate. I kind of want to go just check that out. It's just about that killer monkey.
I heard about that.
I really wasn't even that interested in it until I saw some of the reviews and it's over a 90% on Rotten Tomatoes right now. So I'm like,
critics or fans? Do you remember?
I think critics at least.
Okay.
So the fans might be around the same area.
Jordan Peele, that monkey and Nope.
Or Monkey Shine, that one movie.
Yeah.
Silent in that theater.
So that's a movie I definitely want to check out too. And I don't know. I want to say I have seen Devil Wears Prada, but it's been a minute.
It's been a long time.
But I know that's definitely a positive movie in the movie community. So maybe that'll have to be on the to-do list as well. What about you, Sir Fraser?
Man, for me, Invincible Season 4, that's dropping in the spring.
Yeah.
Can't wait. Man, I know we're going to be texting quite a bit.
The boys too, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah, Engine B.
Is that March as well?
I'm not sure if it's March, but I know it's coming out in 2026.
I was going to say, that's kind of crazy. They're dropping 2 big hitters in the same month.
We got a lot to talk about.
They said, we just want y'all to stream us.
Invincible on Tuesdays, Boys on Thursdays.
Oh, man, that's amazing. I would say that, and the one that just popped up on my radar is A24 joint. This one is called Undertone. So you guys seen the trailer for that?
Yeah, trailer looks really good.
Looks very interesting. Kind of reminds me a little bit of that thematically. Reminds me a little bit of was it White Noise that came out in the in 2000s or 90s with Michael Keaton? But yeah, this woman gets these voices from these recordings that she has, and it has very much a haunting vibe. I'm always down to see a horror movie year round.
Yeah.
So I'm really looking forward to this one dropping also in March.
The Boys comes out in April.
Nice.
Okay. Yeah, back to back hitter months for
They'll be overlapping though.
Yeah, they will.
Yeah, have a lot to talk about.
Yeah. Hell yeah. All right, well, that wraps up our episode, the first episode of the new year.
Yes, sir.
We'll catch y'all next time.
Peace.